good morning, guys. It's now time for the Okeechobee Fishing Report. It's Friday, May the 15th. The lake level was 1141. I think that's the level they gave for yesterday. But still, it's shallow water. The lake is, we're not getting any rain yet. So it's coming on down. You got to be very careful. I did a ride along yesterday with a gentleman that had a metal boat. Fished out a couple of metal boats here recently and impressed with both of them. Impressed with both of them really well. And we started out yesterday on the west wall, caught a couple of little ones, caught one on a wake bait in there, trying to catch a big fish there. But man, the water's getting so shallow, I'm not so sure that's where you need to be if you're hunting a big fish. Now, I did talk to Eddie Crosby. I called him yesterday because we're looking for some bluegill. And he was fishing out on the Spoil Islands. And he said it was a little slow out there, but they did catch 7 or 8 fish. This was early. And he said it was actually kind of slow out there, which was actually not very slow, actually. So, but he said about 7 or 8 times they actually snagged shad. Now, anytime you get around bait fish, especially shad, there's bass around. And so if I was going out this morning, I'd probably go out and fish the Spoil Islands right outside of Clewiston. If I was fishing the North Shore, I'd go to probably outside of Tin House, between Tin House and Indian Prairie, and stay way offshore and look for birds. Anything you see where there might be something leading to some shad. But that's kind of what I would do. But we actually got to go and fish up some of the stuff I've been fishing and catching some really big fish, but man, they didn't bite very good yesterday doing that. So we went down south. I showed this gentleman some places in case he comes over and the wind gets really bad. Some of the dynamite holes down south, and we did catch some down there off a little road bed that's kind of back in one of those little pockets. We caught probably 7 or 8 fish there. And then we went bluegill fishing. We went out, and I came back up toward Clewiston, and it went out into Coot Bay, and you could see bluegill beds in there. We only had a couple rods. We weren't really prepared for bluegill fishing, but I'm telling you, we got a new moon coming up. Bluegill they're bedding everywhere. Actually, while we were fishing the west wall, I threw my beetle spin just out in the open water while he was fishing the edge of the grass and was catching some out there where I couldn't even see the beds. So I guarantee you, if you want to go fishing this weekend, go bluegill fishing, get you some beetle spins. Spinning rod, here's what I use. I use 10-pound braid on my spinning rod, and I get these little RT spinners. Instead of buying a beetle spin, you go to Walmart and get them. You got these like 2 spinners in a bag, and you have to buy a head now. You get the little 1/16 ounce head. That's important. A regular beetle spin, it has that little bitty hook that you have to have to catch bluegill because they got small mouths. You can't use too big a hook. So, but they got a 1/16 ounce head that's the same size as that 1/32 that comes in a regular beetle spin. And get some little black grubs. Now, the ones I've been using, I get at Ace Hardware. They're made by Mr. Twister. I think they call them a 2-inch little grub. It's just a little twister. And the only place I've been able to find is them at Ace Hardware here in Clewiston. But they probably got them in a lot of places. But any kind of little black grub will work on there. That's what I would throw. And because you can throw it further and just look for the beds. Power pole down. As soon as you see a bed, put the power poles down. I guarantee you're going to catch plenty of them because we weren't able to see them very good. By the time we got out there, it was pretty late and you couldn't see, but we could see the beds, and every time you saw beds, you caught fish off of them. So that's what I'd be doing this weekend. And but if I was bass fishing, we got, I think, Bass Busters tournaments going on this weekend. I've seen a lot of guys out there scoping some of the areas I've been talking about, the football field, the 94 hole, a lot of those places. A lot of guys are looking out there. I'm not so sure that that's going to be a fact. I don't know. My bass fishing the last couple of days has been a little tougher. Let me tell you that. It's been a little tougher. So if I was going this weekend bass fishing, I'd go out north of the Spoil Islands, maybe go out to the second cut. And but you can fish all the way to the water tank. That water looks good all over the place out there. In fact, I took this gentleman out there almost to the water tank and showed him that pipe where you can go through, even when the water gets really, really low. And we idled through there, and I showed him where he could mark that so he could go through. But anyway, that's pretty much going to do it for the fishing report. But I'm telling you, if you're throwing a crankbait out there, rattle trap, and you're snagging shad, you're in the right place. Let me tell you, you're in the right place. They just have to be biting a little bit. So, but anyway, I hope they get to do a little beetle spin fishing. I love my bluegill fishing. I'm telling you, we bring them in, we fillet them, and I'm telling you what, those things are very, very good to eat. But anyway, we got to thank Okeechobee County for making it possible for me to get up every morning and give you these reports. Visit OkeechobeeCounty.com, and you can get all the reports that's going on, anything that's going on in Okeechobee. Lakeshore Marine, Power Pole, put the power poles down 100 times yesterday. Clewiston Golf Course. You know, we got the sheriff's tournament coming up. I think it's the 30th, I believe. You might want to check. Call the Clewiston Golf Course, and they've got a tournament, benefit tournament for the fallen police officers, and it's just a great event. If you want me to play on your team, hey, give me a call. I'd love to be a part of this. So anyway, love those scrambles. They're a lot of fun. It gives you a good excuse to go play golf and have fun and contribute to a really, really good cause. Steve Whitten's a great guy, and I tell you, he does a tremendous job. Joy Jordan State Farm Insurance, the bait station at North Fort Myers, Cannon Drugs, Pogie's Family Restaurant, and RV1 Mobile Repair. If you got a problem with your RV, dial this number, RV1 Fix My RV. They got some new air conditioners. They'll come out and put it on for you. Don't get any better than that. But anyway, like I say, really excited about all the stuff that's going on. The golf course is in tremendous shape. Play a little golf this afternoon. So I'm actually off today. I had a trip booked for today. It was a trip that I actually donated to a charity. I do that sometimes. And they auction it off, or they auction them off. And so anyway, I always do that for these really, really good charities. And it's just something where I can give back just a little bit. But the lady that actually bought the trip needed to postpone it for a little bit, and that's not a problem at all. We got plenty of time this summer. Things are slowing down a little bit. It's my favorite time of the year here in Lake Okeechobee. It's in the summertime. But anyway, I got to make a decision on the metal boat that I'm going to rig up just for fishing Lake Okeechobee. I'm telling you, I'm getting some really, really good feedback by just riding in other people's boats. I've ridden in a bunch of them, and I'm telling you, that's going to be the boat. The boat I rode in yesterday rode and felt a lot like my BigO boat that I've got. Really felt good. And so anyway, I'll talk about that a little bit later. But anyway, y'all go fishing. I'm pretty much sure you're going to stay hooked up. If you go out on the Spoil Islands, throw your rattle trap out there, chatterbait, they'll hit up. You know, I told the gentleman yesterday, it don't really, when you find the fish on Lake Okeechobee, it don't matter what you're throwing. Being around them is 90% of catching fish. So if you want me to ride your boat, show you what I would be doing, give Deb a call, 239-560-2704. And I'll ride your boat. That way show you how to get out there on the lake and get back without tearing your stuff up, and show you what I do. I don't always catch them, but at least I've got a plan. I've always got a plan, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it don't.